Hello everyone. Welcome to the training video on completing the component type data template. In this session, we will guide you through the various sheets included in the Excel file. We will review each column one by one, explaining its format, purpose, and providing sample values to help you enter data accurately. For uploads, we will begin with the instruction sheet, which serves as a reference guide. This sheet explains how to fill data template. Provide an overview of all the tabs included. You will find definition of each tab, details of any prerequisite template, and specific instructions for completing each sections. For more understanding, you may refer to the Data Template Overview session, which offers more clarity on how to use the interruption sheet effectively. Now let's move to the Component Type sheet. This is the primary data entry sheet where payroll components are configured. It is an essential sheet. With this information, user cannot proceed with transactional activities or complete other dependent configuration. Additionally, we have the list reference sheet, which contains dropdown and links to master references used in other sheets. These values help maintain data consistency and ensure accurate selection during entry. Now let's move on to the component type sheet. First, we have the organization field. This refers to the name of the organization as it is defined in the system. It is mandatory and must match exactly with the name from the master list. For example, if your organization is listed as Sonic Venture, you should enter it the same without any spelling mistake. Next is the component name. This is the name given to the specific component type you are creating. This is also a mandatory field and must be unique across the system. Example of valid entries include gross salary, basic salary. Be careful to avoid duplicate component names as this can cause errors during processing. Following that, we have the component classification field. This is used to categorize the component into a predefined type such as earnings, deductions, and information. This is a mandatory field and the value must be selected from the drop-down list available to ensure it aligns with the system standards. Then comes to the processing priority field, which is for internal system use. It helps define the order in which components are calculated during the payroll processing. This field is mandatory, and when used, a lower number indicates the higher priority. Example, suppose we have 3 components: basic salary, DNS allowance, and special allowance, and last is TDS. We assign basic salary a priority of 1,000, DNS allowance, special allowance, and DNS allowance as 1,500, special allowance as 5,000, and TDS as 7,000. This ensures that the P6 salary is calculated first, followed by DNS allowance, special allowance, then TDS based on the final earnings. Next field is processing type, which indicate whether the component is recurring or non-recurring. This is the mandatory selection. A recurring component is processed in every payroll cycle, like basic salary. A non-recurring component is used when applicable. For example, miscellaneous deduction. Miscellaneous deduction may be configured as a non-recurring so that it will only be tagged in the months. When such a deduction is applied, the reporting convention field is used for internal reporting layout purposes. This field is optional and can generally be left blank unless required by internal reporting standards. It becomes particularly useful in standard reporting scenarios. If the component name is accidentally modified, for example due to an extra space or a missing letter, the reporting convention linked to that component ensure that report routing data remain unaffected. Reports will still display the value in the correct columns regardless of such changes. For example, for basic salary, you can set the reporting and mention as basic salary. For EPF employee, you can set it to EPF employee and so on. The description field allows user to add a brief internal note about the component. This is an optional field and can be used to describe the purpose or context of the component, for example for the gross salary. Base monthly salary component. This concludes the walkthrough of the component type sheet. By carefully entering each field with the correct value and logic, you can ensure smooth processing of payroll components in the system. Accurate configuration at this stage is crucial for successful transaction and seamless integration across module. In the next video, we will walk you through input value and balance definition sheets. If you have any doubts, always refer to the instruction sheet. That concludes today's session. Thank you for attending.